So welcome tonight for our Monday night Starting Strong team call for Team YOLO Down Under. And it's my privilege to have Chiara sharing her journey from the head to the heart and really connecting with her why. And she's going to share the processes that are hopefully going to help each and every one of us on this call really kind of get into why we're doing our business and who we are here to serve. So without further ado, Chiara, take it away, darling.
Thanks, Candy. Yeah, so hi guys. Hope everyone's having a good day. It's absolutely freezing in Sydney. I don't know what it's doing everywhere else, but last night I had leggings on under my track pants. That's how I roll. So today, I'm not sure how many of you were on the call last week, but I just want to start with this quote. The hardest journey is from your head to your heart, but once you get there, you'll know who you are. And I just wanted to talk about what that means to have a heart of service in this business and how that can catapult your growth personally and within your business. I've got 4 points that I spoke about last week briefly. I sort of introduced, and what I've done is I've deconstructed them to hopefully give you guys an opportunity to find the clarity that I found, which took me quite some time. But, you know, we all have our own pace. But I think if I can maybe share what I've learned, then maybe you can have a little bit of insight yourself. So after the conference wrap up, at the conference wrap up breakfast, rather, Linda said, who in the room has had that moment where they clearly realized that this business wasn't about them? And my hand went straight up, because that moment came for me in sort of the maybe 2 or 3 weeks leading up to and the weekend of conference. And we all know that this business is a personal development program in disguise. And if we want to take ourselves to that next level, we have to get a little bit uncomfortable. So I really want to encourage you tonight to allow yourself to get a little bit uncomfortable. If some of the things that I say trigger you or make you feel uncomfortable, that's great. Try not to hang up on me. Try to just stay with it. Because usually the resistance you feel to something is equal to the amount of growth that you'll feel on the other side should you push through it. Okay, so what I realized at conference, the biggest thing was that I had been standing in my own way. I had put a big, fat, chunky roadblock on my path because I was scared to admit that I didn't know what I was doing or how I was going to get to where I wanted to be. I was running stories about the business, the products, just about everything. I thought I knew better than everybody. That was my story. Which brings me to step 1. Number 1, understand that your story is your pain. So this is the first step on stepping out of your head and into your heart. I find that the thing that gets in our way a lot of the time in life when we're reaching towards a goal, whether it's personally, professionally, whatever, it's not actually the work that's required to achieve that goal. The hurdle is the story in our mind that we tell ourselves about what needs to be done. So often we build it up. We make it seem harder than it actually is. And if we just cut the story and get to it, we'd probably have an easier time. And there's lots of different stories that we can run, like I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not equipped enough, my upline is shit, I don't have enough time, yada, yada, yada. And the reality is that if you're not where you want to be, you have a story like this, at least one. I had several, I still do, working on it. And you need to update that story, you need to upgrade it. So my stories personally were that I'm an actress and that is my life and my passion and what I've studied and still where I want to be. But my story was that if I let that go, even temporarily, that it meant that I was a failure. I knew in my heart, though, that I wanted to help others, but my attachment to the story of how my life was meant to look and how it was supposed to unfold was a huge block. It was blocking me in a massive, massive way. And that was just my ego. So in order to change that story, I had to accept it. I had to accept that that was the story running in my head. I had to let go of this life that I'd planned in my head to be able to receive the life that was happening for me right now, that is happening for me right now. I know as well that I had been projecting that story into my business. I wasn't committed, therefore my business wasn't growing. Why can't I find customers? Well, you can't half-ass anything, you know, that saying, you always got to use your full ass. So that brings me to the second point. You need to lose the self-centeredness. Now, when I say being self-centered, I don't mean selfish. Being self-centered means that you're too busy thinking about how you're going to appear to others, or you're not wanting to come across as a salesperson, or whatever it is. You know, you don't want to, whatever your story is. But that is the thing that's stopping you from putting yourself out there. And I was doing that too. I was focusing on what other people were going to say about me if I told them about Juice Plus. The whole time in my head, I'd be thinking, you're judging me, you're judging me, you're judging me, you're judging me. And, you know, it was self-fulfilling. I didn't want to be the Juice Plus girl. You know, the ego was telling me I have an image to uphold. That's what my mind would say to me. I was so caught up in my head. Who on the line, put your hands up if you've heard Linda say, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Right, a lot of us. That's powerful stuff. You know, it's those kinds of things when you start to let that settle into your consciousness, you can start to understand that it's not about you. And frankly, there's always going to be naysayers in your life. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what color your hair is that month, that year, what size you are, whether you're a size 8 or a size 12, like whatever. There's always going to be someone who's got something to say. And if you focus your energy on those idiots, you may miss the person right next to them who desperately, desperately needs what you have to say. That is so, so important for you to understand. And the thing is, when you finally admit that with love, without self-judgment, without blame, that you are focusing on yourself, you unlock a huge part of yourself. You open your service heart. That becomes you. And to be honest, that's the uncomfortable part. It can hurt to admit that you've been so self-focused for so long, you know, especially because most of us in this business, we got in here to help other people, and to admit that maybe you're thinking a bit too much about yourself can be a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. I know it was for me. But the great part about it is when you clear that stuff out, you open yourself up to your purpose. And your purpose is to share this amazing product and the business with other people. That's your purpose. That's your responsibility. So 3, intimately understand the consequences of not taking responsibility for your purpose. So for those of you who are at conference, this would be the part where I would yell at you, so what did you want it to be? Like Anthony did in his amazing, amazing talk. What did you want it to be? Why did you start your business? This is similar to knowing your why. Was it extra money? Was it to help people? And we focus a lot in our trainings and stuff on vision boards, which I absolutely love. But what would happen if we considered the opposite to our vision board? What would happen if you considered what you'd lose? Because that's what we're facing here. If we give up, we don't help people, we don't have those conversations, that's what we're facing. And I want you to write this down, a little exercise. At some point over the next few days, I want you to take 5 minutes of your time and sit and write what will happen if I don't step up in my Juice Plus business? Who loses if I decide to play small? Who is that? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it the people you haven't met yet? Think about that. Let that settle. Don't wallow in it, but just consider it. And the fourth and final point that I want to share is that you need to decide and accept that there is a deficit in your current knowledge. So in order to become truly of service, you need to be of the understanding that you don't know it all. It sounds really simple, but I want you to be honest with me and with yourself. How often are you sitting on a training call or at an event and you hear someone say something and a voice in your head says, I already know that. Anyone else? I used to do that heaps. Oh my God. Just so self-righteous. And it's not like I'm saying that with love. Like, I love and accept myself because I did the best that I could do at that point, right? This is not about blame or shame or feeling bad for where you're at. This is about radical self-honesty, because what that's going to do is just catapult you into a new level of understanding of self and obviously growth for your business, because one comes before the other. Don't be mistaken. You don't grow after success. You grow into success. That's how that works. So saying things like, I already know, that is great for your ego, but it's really crap for being receptive and open to learning from those people who have already done what you're trying to do. Whether you like them or not, whether you think that you're the same as them or not. Well, of course you're not going to be the same. You're you, they're them. Like, hello, but it's a proven system. Yeah. And so if we can just be receptive, we have an opportunity to fill that space. And I did it a lot. Like I said, I worked in sales for over 10 years and managed sales teams interstate, and I've done this and blah, blah, blah. And I've taken all these supplements and I've done my research and just crap, so much crap. None of it matters. This is not to say that your story doesn't matter. It does, but you have to decide what's more important, carrying that around forever like a backpack, or putting it down and going, you know what? Thank you, but I don't need you anymore. So I was never going to be able to learn if I didn't relax that know-it-all voice in my head and put that down. So how does this affect your business? What does it mean when you finally get out of your head and you step into your heart? For me personally, everything feels, and I may choke on these words, but everything feels just a little bit easier. You know, the conversations are flowing just that little bit easier. It's like, if you want to see it like a river, like I've just taken one big rock out of the dam that I had built for myself. The no's don't affect me so much because it's not about me. If you're saying no, then thank you. I honor that. And maybe not yet, but maybe later. And I'm still going to be here. Yeah. And I guess the biggest thing is that I'm seeing people as they are, not through this bullshit screen of paranoia and self-judgment that I was projecting onto them, thinking those people are judging me, when I was just judging myself because I was self-focused. So it's given me confidence and clarity that I'm just so excited about. And I don't know if any of that will help you, but I really think if you can go away and take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just really go over those points and think, what am I telling myself? You know, where am I filling my deficit with shit? You know, and that's where the things like the I am statements and those sorts of things become really powerful. But we also have to make sure that we do a little bit of weeding too. So anyway, I hope you got some value out of that. I know it's really helped me. So
wow, Chi, that was, everyone, like, hands up, honestly. Honey, that was so powerful, like really powerful. If we can get a few little ahas or notes, I know that when you said about, I wrote it down here, that you grow into success. I just think that's just like, wow, that makes so much sense that you grow into it. It doesn't just happen. And I think some of us can get so concerned about, you know, having to know everything and do everything, and we're growing, we're always growing. Therefore, we're always going to have that deficit of knowledge. So being open and
Exactly.
receiving that knowledge and following the people who have gone before you without comparing yourselves or judging yourselves, I think that was really amazing. And lose the self-centeredness, like, thank you. Honestly, that is so, I know myself, hand on my heart, that I can get so fucking caught up in my head. And
I love how much we swear on this call.
Sorry, Mum. But you get so, you stay there. So, and as Jeff Roberti always says, you know, that head to the heart, it'll be the longest journey you ever do. But that whole grow me, serve you, that just,
Exactly.
that's there. So,
it's like, yeah, the thing about, you know, it's not just what you're telling yourself, but it's how you're then perceiving your life because of that thought, or those thoughts, those persistent thoughts that are on repeat. You are not going to attract the kind of customers and team that you want if you are running these bullshit stories in your head. It just won't happen. But the great thing is you're in control of this. It's not difficult. It just takes a bit of self-awareness. So yeah, I'm glad you got something out of it. That's awesome.
Is there anyone else that'd like to share anything back? Just take yourself off mute.
I like what Mel just said. If not this, then what? Yeah.
So mine would be what will happen if I don't step up. That nearly brought me to tears. Mine's my family.
Oh, bless you.
And income. Cake decorating is really hard, and people don't pay your worth.
No.
So for me, that's my what will happen. That really hit me.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for being so vulnerable. And you can totally do it. Yeah, you can totally do it. We're all here for you.
Wow. How beautiful is our community, right?
Oh, amazing.
And if we all come together and we all are on this journey and we all share our tears and we share our laughter and we've got each other's back. That's the thing. We're not alone at all.
I don't think since joining this business, I've never been around such supportive, friendly, amazing people. I've never really had that in my life. So for me, absolutely. I had a bit of an up and down moment today, and Dion was really amazing and had a big chat to me. I was at the quit stage because I just had enough of hearing the no's. And she said to me, never quit on a bad day.
Bad day.
Yeah. and she's really amazing what she's come through. So I'm finding personal growth, especially the step one, understanding your story is your pain.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot for tonight, so thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Wow, well, thank you.
Well, my cup is full. I don't know about you guys, but mine is overflowing right now. I'm so grateful. Thank you for having me share.
Thank you so much, Chiara. And
thank you so much, Keith. That was just to see your face light up at conference and to see this light bulb go on and this shift just happen. It's just, it blows us away. And that's like, over all the money you can get from this business, that's the reason I do this business. When you see people just really realize that, it's amazing. So thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you. I know, so emotional.
I know none of us want to move. We're like, let's just.
What do we do now?
Well, I'll end the call, guys. I'll just stop recording.